Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with our Senior Product Marketing Manager, Rami Ali, and Senior Manager of Product Management, say that 5 times fast, Nate Mariner. Hey guys, welcome to NetSuite TV.
Hi Fritz.
Hey Fritz.
All right, well, let's get right into it. Why is planning and budgeting a timely topic right now?
Sure, well first thank you for having us, Fritz. These days we are in budgeting season, and the budgeting process by itself is a very timely topic. So what organizations are looking for, they're looking to improve their budgeting process, scenario analysis process as they prepare for 2022 planning. Also during this time of the year, CFOs and finance leaders are revisiting and pressure testing scenarios, assumptions, and the decisions that were made last year. For instance, if you look at it, marketing and sales teams must have a common understanding of when the next normal officially start, and therefore how to budget for expenses such as travel, entertainment, and so on. Also, if you look at it from a technology standpoint, finance professionals are looking for ways to improve collaboration with stakeholders by streamlining the data collection process and freeing up time from low value added work. Also, they need more control over the process, right? Did I give the right people access to the right set of data? What about improved visibility? As Mr. Wonderful said earlier today that, hey, if you don't know your data, you don't know your business. So again, you need to have real-time access to financial and operational data, your actuals, so you're able to quickly look at your budget versus actuals and have enough time to forecast and reforecast accurately. And the last topic is scenario planning and analysis. We all heard about scenario planning in the past 18 months because of the pandemic. So you really need to have some sort of a financial modeling process in place that you can adjust quickly and therefore be able to react to changing market conditions.
Well, luckily we have a tool for that.
Exactly.
NetSuite Planning and Budgeting. What superpowers does it give to our customers? Yeah,
so for now, Oracle owns the market-leading platform with the broadest capabilities and flexibility available in the market. So at NetSuite, we focused on packaging our product with the best practices that meets our customers' needs, right? And what that allowed us to do, allowed us to provide our customers a solution that is affordable, easy to use, and very fast to implement, so our customers can get quick ROI on it. Also, if you look at it, what does that product do? It really facilitates company-wide planning from one collaborative, scalable solution for businesses of all sizes. In fact, it is tailored to specific industries. Software companies, for example, we have recurring revenue models that we've built for our customers. Non-profit organizations, you can plan for fundraising events, if you will. If you're in manufacturing, you can run your demand forecasting. So the product is made for many, many use cases and for specific verticals. So just to kind of sum it up, really, NSPB provides organizations visibility into performance and allows for that real-time decision making.
Okay, so we've mentioned scenario planning a couple of times here. How do NetSuite customers use scenario planning to prepare for what's ahead, especially when there's new opportunities might emerge?
Sure. I can take that one, Fritz.
Okay.
So, well, the experience of the last year, I think, has brought more awareness to thinking about and planning for the future in general. But the circumstances under which various NetSuite customers do that are very different across the board. And I heard a good description of it. I read a McKinsey report a couple of months ago, and it described it roughly this way. So, for example, technology and pharmaceutical companies came into the crisis, the pandemic, with a relatively strong financial position. The unique circumstances of the crisis presented opportunities, growth acceleration opportunities for them. And what they needed to do was assess how to take advantage of those growth opportunities. And so when you start thinking about scenarios to do that, you really need to be thinking about how do I double down and triple down to go take market share. I mean, when the market is being disruptive, that's the time to be aggressive and take market share. And so the way they should have been approaching scenario analysis, and I hope they were, was through that mindset. And I think a good quote that sort of describes that you might be familiar with is, and it's attributed to Warren Buffett. Hopefully he said it. I don't know, but it's wise to be greedy when others are fearful, and so that really should have been driving that mindset for organizations in that circumstance. Conversely, for firms or organizations that were more impacted or responding to this disruption in the market, or frankly operate in markets that are just generally more uncertain, they really need to be looking at it as, hey, how do I ensure I have financial stability, but also potentially recognize growth opportunities? And the examples that I would offer to you on that front, retailers, wholesalers, distributors, logistics firms, suppliers, where yes, there are growth opportunities there, but what was happening as the market was being disruptive is what's called the bullwhip effect. So can you envision a bullwhip, right? I crack the whip, and the part of the whip next to my hand, it doesn't necessarily move that much, but the end of that whip is moving pretty substantially. And I'll put my propeller hat on here, and that's actually called increasing oscillation magnitude. So to the extent that small customer inputs have large impacts to first retailers, and then wholesalers, and then distributors, and then suppliers. So if they're not factoring in that end-to-end picture, they're really not doing the job they probably should be doing using scenario planning to plan for growth. So long way of saying it really varied across the customer base, but under each circumstance, the tool, NetSuite Planning and Budgeting that we take to market, it really should make that easier and faster to do under those complex set of circumstances.
Sure, and I mean, we talked about the growth side of it. There's also I mean, it's better to think about the growth, but what if bad things happen? And always good to have those in your back pocket as well.
Yeah, it's, on our personal finance, it's the rainy day fund, right? Like, okay, something could happen. What's the probability of it happening? Let's prepare for that too.
Yeah, for sure. Other than budgeting and scenario planning, what other use cases can we talk about with NetSuite Planning and Budgeting?
You want me?
Yeah.
Okay, so the ones that I'll a little bit cut to the chase on this one. The use cases we see most often are around workforce planning. For some of our audience, they're probably thinking, well, isn't planning and budgeting workforce planning? The reality is, it is in a lot of circumstances, but you really need to be focused on how you do workforce planning. Who are you going to hire? When are you going to hire him? Do they have the right skill set? What's that skill set cost? Are there transfers in the organization? Who's leaving? And I can say from experience, having managed that process in Excel in small and large organizations, if that's what you're doing, that is an inherently error-prone, risky process. So it's just something to be aware of, for workforce planning. The second one that we often hear of is one that certain industries is very pertinent to them, is demand forecasting. The solution has an embedded predictive engine that makes it very easy to look at items, customers, various other NetSuite segments that they may have, and project demand in a confident way. And so that demand is automatically incorporated into their financial statements, with the bigger picture being that should instill confidence as senior management reviews those financial and operational projections. So I would say those are two of the most common, and we see them across the board. What's
it using to make those projections? Is it past data? Is it bringing in historical, outside data? How does that come about?
It actually can be all of the above. Okay. The feature that does that, called predictive planning, the way that you get started on it is you have a rich set of past data that's coming from, in this case, NetSuite ERP or Suite People or the various modules, and it will run statistical analyses to create projections on that data. As customers expand their footprint, we would encourage them and can work with them to say, what are those richer sets of possibly opportunities in NetSuite CRM or in their ticketing system that will give them more confidence in that future projection. So it really is a rich feature that brings together a lot of different data points in kind of one single way that's easy to interpret.
Let's look at the competitive set for a moment. How does NetSuite Planning and Budgeting stand out in the market? What do we have that competitors don't?
Sure. So we have a lot of functionalities and features that really differentiates the product, but I'll focus on the top three. So the first one is the data synchronization that we've built with NetSuite ERP. So you're able to bring in financial and operational data. Operational data, for example, if you're using NetSuite Suite People, Payroll, and HR, we have Suite Bundle that brings in that data so you can perform your workforce and headcount planning, for example. On the other side, you can have real-time actuals coming from the NetSuite ERP system, so you're able to forecast and reforecast faster. The second piece of it, and I'm going to have Nate talk about how much time we spend from a development perspective, and from an investment standpoint, how much time and effort we put to build that synchronization in a little bit. And then the second piece is the predictive planning engine that we have that allows our customers to be able to run multiple what-if scenarios so quickly so they're able to react effectively to changing market conditions. And the third one, which is a tool that I love, is the Microsoft Office add-in Smart View. Smart View allows our customers to be able to slice and dice data, allows them to create ad hoc reporting so quickly. You can really refresh those reports as long as they are mapped to the data with one single click. This is very powerful. If you're a private equity, I'll just give you an example. If you're a PE or a VC-backed organization or company, you have a board of directors that you have to report to. So you can create that report. You got your KPI report or a flash report for your CFO, a board presentation, again, that I mentioned. These are very important reports that are some sort of ad hoc, right? And that's what it's being done in this application. And nobody has these in the marketplace today.
Okay, wow. And Nate, you were going to talk about the investment that we put into the product.
Yeah, I can make a few quick comments. It's often underappreciated by users that how much time, effort, and resources we're investing in the component that we call sync or synchronization. And just as a little bit of very brief background, one of the hardest things to do, no matter what vendor you are, when you're bringing to market a planning and budgeting solution, is you're going from transactional detail to summary. And there are many ways you could do that, and that can be up to interpretation when you start getting consultants in the mix. You have to own both ends to do it right? We as NetSuite, we have the transactional system, we know it inside and out. We have the planning and budgeting system, we know it inside and out, and we can optimize for how should that be done out of the box, because I can't tell you how many consulting projects I've seen where that can become a significant cost in the consulting project, and the user has no idea that's where their dollars are going. We've solved that out of the box for customers, and it brings a lot of value.
So what are some of the new releases or innovations that we've seen in the product in the last 6 to 12 months? And maybe a hint of what we can look forward to.
You want me to take it? Okay.
You're a product guy.
So I'll cover a couple. Pretty straightforward. One of the first several months back, actually it's during 2021, is a thing that we call direct links URL. And it's kind of a techie name for just saying, when you deploy NetSuite Planning and Budgeting, you can either use our out-of-the-box views in the web, dashboards or grids, or you can create your own. If you like those views, we've created a way to actually export the URL directly to that object. Not the whole web page, just that object, and it can be embedded in other workflows. Our primary use case will definitely be to release more seamless workflows embedded in the core NetSuite UI. That said, it can also be used for other systems for some of our customers that have a more complex systems landscape. The second would be something that I think customers have heard about, but it was the release of the Redwood experience. Redwood experience goes beyond being a branding effort by Oracle. It really gets down to the customer experience in the interaction layer. Our customers are not forced to use it, but if they deploy it, they'll get an extra layout icon in their grids that allow you to edit it on the fly. Previously, and with a lot of our other customers, or pardon me, competitors, they have to do that in some other screen. So again, trying to make it easier to use day to day and make it more flexible.
And finally, maybe what advice would you give to customers when it comes to planning and budgeting?
The advice is, I would really say, get out, if you're using spreadsheet today, get a tool that allows you to be able to forecast faster, to be able to react efficiently to changing market conditions. That's really what I would say. Just get a tool right away. If you stay in spreadsheet, you might be, there are a lot of, risks when it comes to budgeting, forecasting, and reporting. That would be my advice.
Can I add one or two?
Yeah.
Or we're gonna So first, like Rami said, start with the basics. If you're in spreadsheets, it's about error management. Just be cognizant, don't overcomplicate things. Two, if you want to improve your process by adopting a tool, know when to do that. It's not when your spreadsheets are breaking. Start thinking about it ahead of time. And then three, be prepared for scenario analysis like we talked about. Scenario analysis, if you've got issues in your process, multiplies them. So make sure you're ready for that before taking it on.
Okay, great. And by the way, I have a piece of advice. We have a NetSuite YouTube channel with a lot of great demos of the planning and budgeting product, so I would recommend people check that out. Okay, we are playing a game of Mad Libs, and we need a couple of words from you guys for later today. Nate, can you give me a profession?
I'll give you one, soccer.
Soccer player? All right,
Okay,
switch it up. And Nate, you can give me the name of a country.
How about Nicaragua?
Nicaragua, okay, I like that one. Okay, thank you both. That was very informative. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Fritz.
Thanks, Fritz.